Imagine this. Canada has signed a pact with Spain that opens the door to classified information, defense markets, and industrial supply chains worth billions. It's not flashy, but it's historic. For the first time, Ottawa can fully embed itself inside Europe's southern defense hub, while Washington watches from the sidelines. Welcome to GEOCAPITALIST, where numbers reveal strategy. Today, we're decoding Canada's new General Security of Information Agreement with Spain, a deal that rewires defense, trade, and technology flows across the Atlantic. Make sure you subscribe and tell us in the comments, is Canada diversifying smartly or risking friction with Washington? On September 9, 2025, Canada and Spain signed a General Security of Information Agreement, GSOIA. This may sound technical, but it's a game changer. For the first time, Ottawa and Madrid can exchange classified information at the highest levels, including defense procurement, advanced technology, and sensitive intelligence. Why does this matter? Because without such an agreement, companies can't access foreign defense contracts, and governments can't share technical data. For years, Canada and Spain worked under a weaker, non-binding arrangement dating back to 2011. That meant barriers, delays, and missed opportunities. Now those barriers are gone. Canadian firms can compete in Spain's defense market, Spanish firms can tap into Canadian projects, and governments can co-develop sensitive technologies. In practical terms, this could involve naval modernization, cybersecurity, satellite intelligence, and even energy infrastructure security. The signing also aligns with NATO standards, ensuring that Canada is fully interoperable with one of Europe's fastest-growing defense economies. Spain is a key NATO member, operating bases that connect the Atlantic to the Mediterranean. By linking with Madrid, Ottawa gains direct access to southern Europe's strategic corridors. This isn't just bureaucracy, it's industrial access. It's influence, and it's a signal. Canada is no longer satisfied with being a junior partner in transatlantic defense. It wants a seat at the table. Spain often flies under the radar in global defense debates. But look closer, and Madrid is far more than a Mediterranean player. Spain hosts Rota Naval Base, one of NATO's most critical Atlantic gateways. It connects North America to the Mediterranean and the Middle East. It also anchors U.S. naval forces, meaning Spain already plays host to some of Washington's most sensitive assets. Economically, Spain has built a powerful shipbuilding and aerospace sector. Companies like Navantia produce advanced frigates, submarines, and maritime patrol systems. Its aerospace industries, tied to Airbus, link into global supply chains for satellites, drones, and aviation technologies. For Canada, Spain represents three things: access to southern Europe's defense markets. Navantia and others are looking outward, and Canadian firms can now bid into projects. Connectivity. Spain is a bridge. Its ports and bases connect Canada's Atlantic exports with the Mediterranean and Africa. Innovation. Spain's investments in green naval technology and digital defense systems overlap with Canada's strengths in AI, critical minerals, and Arctic expertise. By formalizing an information pact, Canada is no longer just watching from afar. It's embedding into Europe's southern defense industrial cluster. That cluster isn't just about ships and planes, it's about contracts, jobs, and billions in investment. For Spain, this agreement ensures access to Canadian raw materials, advanced AI startups, and Arctic security know-how. For Ottawa, it means joining a club once limited to the US, UK, and top EU players. The GSOIA is more than about sharing secrets, it's about industrial integration. Canadian companies, from shipyards in Halifax to aerospace firms in Montreal, can now directly access Spanish procurement. That means co-developing naval platforms, cybersecurity tools, or advanced composites used in aviation. It could also mean new contracts for Canadian critical minerals, lithium, nickel, cobalt, feeding into Spain's aerospace and defense supply chains. Think about the scale. Spain spends billions annually on defense modernization. With this pact, Canadian firms are no longer outsiders. They can compete, and more importantly, collaborate. Spain's strengths, shipbuilding and aviation, complement Canada's natural resource base and Arctic technologies. For example, Canada could supply the nickel and rare earths for naval batteries or green propulsion, while Spain integrates them into ship systems. For Ottawa, the pact is also leverage. By embedding into Spain's markets, it shows Washington and London that Canadian firms have other options. No longer must Canada rely solely on Anglo-American channels for defense integration. Europe is open. This matters for jobs, too. Every joint project with Spain could mean contracts for Canadian engineers, miners, and data specialists. It's not just about warships. It's about securing long-term industrial capacity. In short, the pact turns Canada from a peripheral supplier into a partner of choice inside Europe's defense economy. This agreement doesn't exist in isolation. It's embedded in NATO. NATO isn't only about troop deployments. It's about supply chains, data, and secure communications. By signing this pact with Spain, Canada is reinforcing NATO's industrial backbone. Spain sits at the southern flank of NATO. Canada anchors the North Atlantic. Together, they form a transatlantic corridor of secure data, equipment, and logistics. For NATO, that means resilience. This is particularly relevant in areas like submarine cables. Canada and Spain both guard key undersea data routes. Cyber defense. Shared classified frameworks make collaboration on digital threats seamless. Energy infrastructure. Spain's LNG terminals and Canada's gas exports are both crucial to Europe's energy transition. The U.S. has long dominated NATO's industrial ecosystem, but this deal signals something different. Allies are building direct ties, bypassing Washington as the sole gatekeeper. For Spain, this diversifies partners beyond the EU's northern powers like Germany and France. For Canada, it proves relevance outside North America. And for NATO, it hardens supply chains against shocks, whether energy disruptions, cyber attacks, or industrial bottlenecks. This isn't flashy. It won't dominate headlines. But in practice, it's what keeps NATO's machinery running, and Canada just moved from a background role into a more central one. Every agreement has an economic dimension, and this pact is no exception. By giving Canadian firms access to Spain's defense and technology markets, Ottawa is unlocking opportunities that go well beyond defense. Spanish companies also specialize in renewables, green hydrogen, and digital infrastructure. These are areas where Canada is positioning itself as a resource and innovation supplier. Imagine this. Spanish shipbuilders integrate Canadian critical minerals into green naval propulsion. Spanish wind turbine companies source rare earth magnets from Quebec mines. Spanish AI startups partner with Canadian data scientists to build predictive defense tools. The dollars add up. Even a modest 10% share of Spain's annual defense modernization budget could bring Canadian firms contracts worth hundreds of millions annually. Layered over a decade, the upside is in the billions. It also means jobs. Contracts in aerospace and shipbuilding sustain thousands of high-skilled workers. Mining and refining critical minerals can employ communities across northern Canada. For Spain, the economic benefits flow back in reverse. Secure mineral access, Arctic cooperation, and new export markets in North America. This isn't just geopolitics, it's industrial strategy with measurable returns. Whenever Canada signs a major pact, the question is always the same. What does Washington think? For decades, Canada's defense integration ran almost entirely through the U.S., but with this agreement, Ottawa is proving it can go direct, building secure information frameworks with European allies without U.S. mediation. For Washington, that's awkward. Spain already hosts critical U.S. naval assets. Now Ottawa has a secure line into Madrid, too. This doesn't undermine NATO. but it does dilute U.S. gatekeeping. American defense firms may also feel pressure. Canada's procurement could lean toward partnerships with European suppliers, while Spanish firms may now win contracts in Canada. That means less guaranteed business for U.S. contractors. Politically, Washington can't oppose the deal outright. Spain is a NATO ally, and Canada is a close partner. But the symbolism is clear. Ottawa is asserting independence, and Europe is receptive. For Canada, this is about options. By embedding into Europe's southern flank, it proves that its global strategy isn't limited to a single corridor. Geography is strategy, and this pact underscores it. Spain is more than a Mediterranean country. It is the bridge between the Atlantic and the Mediterranean, between Europe and Africa. Its bases connect NATO's northern and southern commands. Canada, meanwhile, anchors the Western Atlantic. Together, the two countries can secure shipping routes, undersea cables, and energy flows that span continents. This has three implications: resilient trade. Secure Atlantic-Mediterranean corridors protect Canadian exports, from LNG to critical minerals. Energy security. Spain's LNG terminals are among Europe's busiest. With Canada eyeing more gas exports, collaboration is inevitable. Arctic-Mediterranean linkage. Canada's Arctic expertise complements Spain's Mediterranean naval capacity. Combined, they cover NATO's most exposed maritime frontiers. This isn't just about today. As climate change reshapes trade routes and energy flows, Canada and Spain will be critical in designing how goods and data move between continents. Step back, and the message becomes clear. Canada is embedding deeper into Europe, and not only in the north with Germany or Sweden, but in the south with Spain. This diversification is deliberate. By signing pacts with multiple European partners, Ottawa reduces reliance on a single ally and gains leverage in negotiations with Washington. For Spain, Canada's involvement strengthens its own push to be more than a regional player. It elevates Madrid as a connector between Europe, Africa, and North America. Together, Canada and Spain are writing a template for middle power cooperation. Exchange of secure data, integration of industries, and joint leverage inside NATO. The U.S. may not oppose this openly, but it cannot ignore the shift. Allies are building options, and options mean power. For businesses, the pact means new opportunities in shipbuilding, aerospace, mining, and renewables. For citizens, it means jobs, innovation, and greater resilience in uncertain times. This isn't just about Canada and Spain. It's about the evolution of NATO and the future of transatlantic strategy. This was why Canada's new pact with Spain changes everything, and the U.S. can't stop it. What do you think? Is Canada diversifying smartly or risking friction with Washington? Drop your thoughts below. And if you value fearless analysis, consider supporting GEOCAPITALIST through the link under this video. Your support keeps us independent, ad-safe, and sponsor-free. And if you found this breakdown valuable, watch our next video. It connects directly to these shifts. Don't forget to subscribe. Your support helps us decode these global transformations without compromise. This was GEOCAPITALIST, where we decode global wealth one power shift at a time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.